Welcome to another brief walkthrough video. Today we're going to run through the training mackerel, the Oceanus. It's the training ship, so it's a simple design with many opportunities to learn good practice for future ships. The first thing we need to do is get closer to the ship. We cover much more ground with space, grappling the far wall and reeling ourselves in using the right mouse button. The nacelles are unconnected, so we use two quick tethers to drop them into the barge, and we grab the antenna things while we're here. We begin entry through the airlock and animation cancel using the space bar. The scanner can be used in the same way. To save time, we can pull and barge the console before the doors open.
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
Always depressurize the vessel. We activate and animation cancel the atmosphere regulator and the internal console. We're depressurizing the cockpit and we're just kind of hanging out waiting for it to finish, and then we'll be going inside to disconnect everything with a couple tethers, and we will also cut the glass out as it is fairly valuable and worth grabbing. We do so with 4 quick and easy cuts. Well, not really that easy, but they're pretty quick to do. We could tether these guys together, but we'll just do it with a quick grapple. With the essentials out of the way, we move into a position to make the most cuts with the fewest pulls of the trigger. I prefer bottom top, move, bottom top, but it's available for top bottom if you prefer. A popular tactic in race these days is to cut these lengthwise beams here to detach all of these lights for a little extra cash. It's easy to do with the split saw, just line it up and pull the trigger. Tethers, if placed on an inner wall and connected to an outside point, will auto-connect to an outside panel of the ship, a useful little trick that saves a bit of time. With the cabin bits collected, we move into the crawl space. This side just so happens to have the airlock, and when cutting the airlock free, start at the top and move to the bottom, because we don't fit through the gap on top. All of these cut points can be cut at the same time with proper alignment with the split saw. We tether all the whole sections to the processor and the airlock to the bridge. Here we're using a technique we refer to as cross-stitching. What it is taking one end of the tether, attaching it to your starting point, and then attaching the second point to your destination, and then from your destination setting a new tether and bringing it back to your starting point. It's a very handy technique if you want to speed up your shipbreaking. The intent here was to cut out the door, which we managed. 50% is still something, right? We barge the reactor before processing the hull plate it's connected to, never the other way around. We meander over to the aft section. The training ship doesn't have a thruster, so we can tether the aft to the processor directly without much hassle. With the aft section out of the way, we make our way into the secondary crawl space, and we use the split saw to chop as many of the cut points as we have lined up at a time. Upon exiting the crawl space, we will begin tethering each piece of the hull into the processor, same as we did before. With everything of value removed from the exterior and interior of the vessel, we can safely tether the frame into the furnace. And we can follow that up with a little bit of cleanup, just make the workspace a little tidy. We have to take a moment to remove a chair from the cockpit because it didn't fall out when we tethered the cockpit to the hab. We can pulse that to the barge real quick, and then we'll double check the wings of the cockpit to make sure there's nothing in there that we may have forgotten. But this is the training Mackerel, so there generally isn't. We'll do a quick scan with the scanner. Oh, there's the chair. We'll just grab that and pulse it into the barge as well, and then we can start tethering the cockpit into the processor.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
And with that, we're pretty much done with the ship. We'll just do a little bit of extra cleanup here, including getting the glass into the furnace where it belongs. Like I said before, it is worth grabbing. And with that, we are a little bit more out of debt, and we have a couple extra tokens to spend. So we will make our way back to the hab here in a moment, and you can see the final screen of values for all these things that we finished. And then just remember, if you have any comments or concerns, you can leave them down below, or you can join us on the official Hardspace Shipbreaker Discord, where you can also ask your questions and make comments, and we're pretty friendly there, so drop in and say hello. So thanks for watching. I am planning a few more of these videos in the future. If you enjoyed this one, please look forward to seeing those as well. And remember to just keep on cutting.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.